This is a Switzer-Land Chapel, and today I'm heading deep into the mountains in search of a lost trail that once led to its doors using my vintage postcards. The chapel was part of a 19th century wilderness resort, but now it lies in ruins, completely forgotten, along with a huge waterfall in this very canyon. It's a beautiful waterfall. Ironically, the ruins are visible from one of the most popular trails in the range, and yet hikers have no idea they exist. So I'm on a mission through hidden waterfalls and sketchy boulder scrambles. We've reached the dead end. I can feel all the burning here and here. To rediscover this trail, that would be the bell tower, and bring a piece of forgotten history back to life. A lot of people don't know this, but this whole part of the canyon is actually a type of ghost town. And that's because it used to be a wilderness resort. Back in 1884, Pasadena carpenter by the name of Commodore Perry Switzer, and yes, that was his real name, founded Switzer's Camp. And at its peak, the camp was able to host up to 450 guests on any given day. That's twice the size of the ghost town we explored a few weeks ago in the East Fork. So, if you had been walking on this exact same trail 100 years ago, you wouldn't have just seen only other hikers. You would have seen hunters, fishermen, cabins and tents, and if it was Sunday, people going up to the little chapel. But it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine. The camp faced both financial hardships and natural disasters almost from day one. In 1912, Lloyd and Bertha Austin, a very devout Christian couple, took over Switzer's Camp. They expanded it and renamed it Losadena, which was a combination of Los Angeles and Pasadena. But the name never stuck, so they settled for Switzer-Land. And the old timers used to call that whole area down there the Gorge Brink. There used to be other buildings below the chapel, and the old timers also built these really crude looking wooden bridges on that waterfall down there, and I think that provided access straight up and down, which is why we're heading upstream. So the goal is to get to that side over there where those stone arches are. That's one of the very few remaining ruins of the chapel. Back at the Arroyo Seco. From here it's upstream and over two waterfalls, but the goal is to keep an eye out, see if we can find a trail somewhere leading upward on that side of the canyon over there. Because during Switzer's days, people would travel 12 miles upstream from Pasadena. They would either have to hike or they would have to take one of Switzer's burro trains. That was the only way to get up here. Trying to hustle here to beat the crowds. I can hear people coming already. My pepper spray just went off. It almost got me. That's what I get for being in a rush. Okay, I'm gonna have to put that thing away when I climb up the waterfall. Check it out. I can see why Henry Ford and John Muir visited this place. It's just absolutely beautiful. Such an elegant looking waterfall. But this is not the goal. We gotta figure out a way to get over this. And I think the path is going to be up over that way. That's about 30 feet off the ground, so let's get to it. There's the top tier right there. And this is the route. So I want to take my time, because I really don't want to eat it. And I'm holding a GoPro in my left hand. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay. That was the sketchiest part. So it's been about half an hour since the bear spray went off and nearly hit me in the face. It almost got my eyes. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if I hit it or if I hit a branch, but the safety clip that stops the little lever from going down broke, and it just sprayed out and it hit my backpack mostly, but some of it got on me and I can feel all the burning here and here. The graffiti people made it. If they made it over here, we can too. The hidden waterfall is in there, but I don't see any way up here. It looks like just a straight vertical cliff. And it looks like the only way to get to the other side is to get in the creek. So here we go, a little water never hurt nobody. Welcome to the Hidden Falls, guys. Some people call this place Upper Switzer Falls, but it actually has its own name. You already know, I love to dig through history books and everywhere I can. And the specific name of this waterfall is Silver Spray Falls. When you look at the wooden bridges in the pictures, it looks like they were up there. So one would have been right over this little ledge, and the other one would have been on that side right there. And it looks like it provided access that way, and you were able to get down. Maybe it was just a little viewpoint. I'm not 100% sure, but we've reached a dead end. I'm gonna have to retrace my steps, see if I can identify the location of this building called the Boulder Lodge, because there's a picture of this structure, and behind it you can see the chapel. So if I can find the location of the Boulder Lodge, I'm pretty sure I can find the location of that chapel. All right, guys, I retraced my steps, and I'm pretty sure I found the location of the Boulder Lodge. Let me show you guys. Here are 3 layers of stone walls. And this over here was a stove, because at the time they put more cabins on that side. The Boulder Lodge would have been exactly right here behind me. It was tucked up against the canyon wall. And over here, right here, this was a croquet field. The Boulder Lodge would have had its own fireplace, library. It was one of the most popular structures in the entire camp. And it would have been right here. It had a little patio right in front of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna head up on the left side of the stream. I'm just gonna keep an eye out for bears and snakes, because I was here last week and I ran into a rattlesnake and a bear. This is probably what's left of a cabin, maybe. I see there's a trail here, but it looks like there's also a way to go up top that way. And if I'm guessing, I think we should go this way, because that way looks like it's going down and we need to gain some elevation. Okay, made it up this way. I think we're getting close. You can see stone stacked up for sure. These are for sure ruins, but God knows what they were. Probably a wall. I can't tell if it continues that way. I do recall the place being at eye level with the trail, so it might be this way. I'm gonna put the GoPro down and then go check it out. Well, I took the wrong turn, but I went up too high, but I was able to find a way down, and guess what? We're here, guys. We made it. Man, that was not easy. I had to really push my way through yuccas and all kinds of shrubs, but it was so worth it. So these are probably the seats that used to be in the back of the chapel. Used to be able to hold up to 200 people, which is kind of crazy. I think there's been a rock slides or something, because to think that 200 people could all be crammed into this little space here, it just doesn't make any sense to me. This right here was probably the foundation for the bell tower, because it had a bell tower and stained glass windows. It actually had its own piano. Can you imagine hauling a piano from Pasadena for 12 miles upstream? So I decided to come down from the bell tower. I came this way, and it turns out that there's a trail that goes over the arches. It's a steep one and it's overgrown, but still easier than the last one. Let's see how far we get. Let's hope that these don't fall down either. Good God. Okay, that was the sketchy part. Here they are, up close and personal, but we're not leaving yet. I just wanted to show you guys this, and then we'll continue this story up there. I took out my postcards, and I thought it would be pretty neat if I read to you guys what at least one of them says in the back, because these are real messages from real people who came and visited this place. It's dated April 16, 1940. So this was written during World War II. It is addressed to Mrs. Jessie Lentz. Here's what it says. I forget if I gave you Anna's address. I don't know if mail will get through nor what has happened to them. I see they bombed Jovic and Hammer and Lake Josen, at all of which places we have families of cousins, Mina, Oscar, etc. They probably have bombed the lumber company owned by Florence Borson's relatives outside of Jovic, Lillingen. The other side of this card is in the mountains up behind my house. Love, A. Most mountain resorts got taken out by one of the following three things: the Great Depression, the construction of the mountain highways, or the Great Floods of 1938. But Switzer's Camp managed to hold on. It wasn't until 1959, when there was a horrible fire in the canyon, that the Forest Service realized they wouldn't be able to protect the people in the resort if it happened again. So they actually forced the camp to close down, but they still let the Boy Scouts use the place. Shortly after, vandals began to do what vandals do best: vandalize. That was the last straw. The Forest Service had enough, and they decided to bulldoze all the cabins, and they dynamited the chapel. And fast forward to 2026, the memory of the chapel, along with the trail that led to the chapel, faded away, and Switzer Falls kind of became the rising star in the canyon, so to speak. Everyone wanted to go to the waterfall, and almost no one knows this place is here or the history. I don't think you have to be of the Christian faith to appreciate the spiritual connection in this place. It's the overwhelming sense of peace you get in the mountains that doesn't seem to exist in the city, at least not for me. I think that's why this place was so special. That feeling is innate in many of us, and it's difficult to explain, but when you understand it, it makes sense why they put so much effort into building places like these, why thousands visited Switzer-Land and worshiped in this chapel. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on this journey and for taking the time to remember such an amazing part of our California story. See you in the next one.